I'm live. What's going on, guys? Do 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 do. Pardon my mess. I am leaving this place. I just attempted to go live one more time with my Mini 2, but it just doesn't seem to ever work. So kind of stinks because you go live with it supposedly and you go through all the motions and then you realize it didn't go live at all in the first place. So lots of fun. But with the new app, you can go ahead and you can't really see. I'm not using eCam, so it's going to be kind of a janky live stream just because I'm using just the regular stream through Chrome. But regardless, I figure talk story a little bit, maybe talk about the Mavic 3, talk about drone woes. I scratched my little Mini 2 lens, and this lens you can't easily replace. And I talked to DJI and they basically said I have to utilize a refresh if I want to swap out the lens, which kind of stinks. But the Mavic 3 is apparently when it's going to be released. I think it's going to come out November 4th, I want to say. But I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what really is going to be involved with that drone because everyone's talking about $5,000 and the Cine package and new version 2 smart controller, and that's all good stuff. But at the same time, just a lot of speculation regarding ProRes, and I saw 4K 120 frames per second. But I'm kind of curious to see if the actual Cine is going to have an SSD drive slot similar to the Inspire 2 to capture the ProRes footage. Apparently, they said the micro SD card slots are now going to be able to carry 2 terabyte micro SD cards, which I didn't even know they had. So apparently that's a thing. So 2 terabyte capacity, I guess, could work if they're somehow able to be captured to for ProRes footage. But regardless, I don't know. Right now, I feel like I'm just talking to myself, which I probably am. If you guys chime in, I'm not even sure. How do you even know that the stream is going live? Do they actually give you a notification if you have the notification bell turned on? Do, 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 do. But anyway, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, feel free. I see the chat down below. As I said, I'm just kind of testing this whole streaming thing out. It's a little frustrating because every time I try to stream with my drone, it never seems to work. I think the best thing will be when I move into my new location, I'm going to get a little studio spot in one of my rooms set up specifically for my YouTube trip and actually work on a studio and a backdrop and lighting and not have it so janky like I do right now. So I'm hoping the audio at least sounds good. Does it? Wait, I don't even know. Let me see something. I got to make sure I'm actually even capturing because maybe that's part of sound. It says it's using the Rode, so it should be good, I believe. Let me see something. Let me know if you can hear me because that can be an issue as well. It should be fine. I don't see the little hello testing 1 2. No. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm hoping you guys can even hear me. Let me know if you can't hear me. Okay, the sound is good. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate that. It's hard because on the bottom of the screen, there's a little area with the mic where you can mute it, but it looks like the audio levels aren't moving. So, but again, I don't know. What do you think, Larry? Are you going to get a Mavic 3? Are you excited about it, or is it not even something you're interested in? Personally, I think it's going to be a nice drone, but I don't know. I mean, they're all so capable nowadays. It's going to really have to pack a lot of punch. I still don't know what the lenses are going to be about. They were saying a 7-time optical zoom, and now they're supposedly saying a 4-time optical zoom. Come here, Simon. Oh my goodness. It's National Cat Appreciation Day too. So Simon wants to say hello, right, Simon? So he's He's just kind of chilling. We're moving into a new space in a couple days. So, what do you say? You want to say anything to YouTube? Wow. Hmm? Okay, go ahead. Okay, at least I know the sound is good. Yeah, I know. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty pricey. I mean, I really don't want or need a smart controller, but I'm still kind of curious to see if that Cine combo has different bit rate and footage capabilities than the other two because I personally don't want to necessarily spend $5,000. That's a lot of money for another drone, especially when I recently got an Inspire 2. So it could be considered an investment, but until I know what's going to be involved truly with the specs, I'm not going to even just we'll see what happens when they release it. I don't even know. Do you know what day they're going to release? Is it November 4th? Let me try to see one other thing. I'll create a little poll. Are you going to buy a Mavic 3? So, yeah, I don't know if you guys know good streaming software either. Ecamm I used, it's kind of a well, it's not it's like 200 a year, but I'm trying to see if there's other streaming softwares that may be a little bit more affordable or even maybe possibly better. So, I think the streaming thing could be good. I'm going to try to go live with Greg from Pilot Institute sometime sooner than later and kind of talk a little bit with him regarding some stuff. I mean, I don't know if you guys have your 107, but getting your 107 is a really good thing with just improving your drone game and being able to get work, which is obviously huge. It pays for some of these things. Um, got my little Mini 2 with me. I scratched my lens messing around. And unlike some of the other Mavics where you can twist off the lens and just simply replace the cover, similar to a GoPro, you can't do that with the Mini 2. Basically, there's nothing online. If you Google replacing the Mini 2 lens cover, there's basically zero videos on that. And kind of strange. Even DJI really didn't know what to say when I asked them about it. But I don't know how to get people to know that you're streaming live to get more people engaged. So that's also part of it. Right now, I don't think there's anyone here other than, I don't know. Let me see. Larry, I think you're still here. Appreciate that. But I probably will notify people, I guess, give them a heads up. I think that's how you handle it. And then they kind of know a couple days ahead of time. When I have a little bit more organization with all this and I get into my new space and have a little studio set up dedicated for all of this, then I will do so and it will make more sense. Let me see what else is around. So what is this button? This is to share the stream, edit. See, I can't really share my screen right now, which is not necessarily great. But until other people kind of come in, it is tough when you're feeling like you're talking to yourself. But again, I just wanted to talk story a little bit. I mean, I know that Ronin 4 came out, and if you saw, they actually had that SSD in that new camera. And I was thinking that would be something comparable to, say, the Inspire 2 capturing ProRes. So I personally think the only real way to justify $4,000 or $5,000 for a Mavic series drone is going to be if they have the smart controller included and also that little SSD drive, which essentially should be a terabyte, which would be roughly $1,000 to begin with, if not more. So if you could kind of bundle the smart controller and that, I would like to think they would give you some kind of option too, though, because what if you don't necessarily want a smart controller with the Cine bundle, or you just want to customize? I don't think they're going to give us that flexibility personally. But again, we shall see when it finally goes live. I mean, we have, three things. We had the Ronin 4D. We have that little new camera, the Osmo Pocket or whatever it is, the Osmo camera, the action camera 2. And now we have the Mavic 3, and we shall see what that's going to be about. A lot of little specs are out. I mean, it really doesn't look that impressive. Yeah, I got to really make sure people subscribe for the auto notices or something, or let people know if I'm going to start going live more or streaming more, because it's hard when you don't have many people in on these chats to kind of continue them and feel like you're actually doing something worthwhile. Because again, if you have other people kind of chiming in, asking questions, it will help this thing go a little smoother. I just put out a bid for a job that I got today. That was a nice thing. All of that's possible thanks to the 107. It just froze up. I know I have a good, let me know if it goes back. Again, this is all kind of a test run. So thank you, Larry, for helping out. Much appreciated. So people can actually, they can support your channel, which is nice. You can see, let me know if it unfroze, if you can. I think it would be nice to do a stream on just getting work with your drone, because I think a lot of people are not, even myself, sometimes struggle with trying to get more work coming to you. And obviously that's something good with flying drones. You don't necessarily always want to just fly for fun. You want to actually make some money with it so you can buy other drones and other stuff and actually pay your bills. Still froze, or no? Anyone in there? Has anyone with the Mini 2 or with the Fly app update tried to stream live and actually had a live successful stream? Because I only had one go through and I probably tried 15 times. So it's kind of giving me the impression that it doesn't work or I'm doing something wrong. It seems like I have the stream URL and the passcode. Simon, relax. Come here. Get over here. I'm not even sure. Master air screw props. What are they for? Which drone? Let me see if I can. Personally, with the prop thing, I don't ever use anything other than the standard stock props. On the Inspire 2, everyone I've talked with said that you shouldn't use any other ones. The Autel Evo 2 Pro, personally, it just seems like the stock props seem to be the way to go. I'm sure they would work, but I don't know. It just seems to not mess around with the prop thing. I mean, I guess they can look cool or maybe be a little carbon fiber or a different color, but let me see. I'll Google master air screw props. Master air screw. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've seen those before on drones. I mean, they look kind of cool, but again, I don't know. I mean, I just don't fix what's not broke, I guess. And that's probably a good thing to kind of go by. It unfroze. Okay, thank you. So even on like Mini 2 or whatever, every drone I have honestly has the stock props. Even the Autel Evo 2 Pros, they don't have the low noise props on them. They just have the standard ones. So I would avoid that stuff personally. That's just my opinion. Obviously, a lot of people still use them and rock them and probably like them, but that's one thing I would avoid. I mean, other than putting filters on and, light for visibility at night flying and that kind of thing. Oh, that's on you, Larry, then, huh? My cat is kind of getting jealous when I go live. He wants the attention always. I got a very needy Siamese cat. Right, Simon? But it's National Cat Appreciation Day, so I got to give him love. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, as I said, the Mavic 3 is kind of what I'm waiting on, like everyone else. It's been a long time since they've been talking about this thing. So to actually have it become a reality, I really want to see what it's going to be about. I mean, if it's essentially the capability of an Inspire 2 in a Mavic size body, then I mean, obviously you can't change lenses. We'll have to see what that's going to be about. But if you can shoot ProRes 10, 12-bit to an SSD card on a Mavic type drone, that's going to be completely badass in my opinion. So that to me would be worth $4,000 or $5,000 just because of that fact that you can shoot ProRes. But I don't know. I mean, as I said, you can shoot ProRes right now on an iPhone 13 Pro Max with the latest update. So that's kind of cool. So you can actually shoot to something like a phone. So maybe you can shoot to a micro SD card as well. But I think to take it to another level and to justify the cost of the $4,000 or $5,000, the little Cine SSD, whatever it is, like they put in the Ronin 40, would be definitely a pimp little cool, you know, piece of that whole scenario. But there isn't too much to talk about. This was kind of just an impromptu live stream. I was getting frustrated with trying to stream with the Mini 2 and never having it go through successfully. So I figured get the stream out of my system and just see and talk and see if anyone kind of chimed in. But I'm going to be out of this place soon. It's a mess right now, and I am packing up as of tomorrow. Computer's going to get dismantled, and all my gear is going to go into a new house. And you should pick up and be a lot more fluid, and thankfully shifting the energy and getting into a new, clean, fresh space, get new artwork up on the walls and do a background and get lighting in place. So stay tuned for more. But anyway, guys, have a beautiful weekend. I don't really have too much to talk about. The Mavic 3, again, is going to be exciting. I probably will get one. I don't know which one yet because obviously I don't know the specs until I see the Cine. I don't know if that package is going to be actually like 46,700. That's a lot of money, actually. To spend $5,000 on a Mavic is just pretty crazy, but we shall see. Maybe I'll be crazy and buy one. Because again, it is kind of justifiable when it is your job and you can make money with it. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I just pulled in a pretty good job today that I signed a contract with last minute, and I got to shoot that after I move next week. So that will at least cover the cost of even a Cine. Should be a $7,000 job. I actually did some previous work for this client, and I did, I think, a couple $1,000 shoots for them where they needed a little coverage and marketing video, just something really quick. But basically, they had 9 different sites that they wanted to have shot, and I told them it would be probably around $10,000-$11,000. And I said, just because it's last minute, maybe we can meet in the middle and do 7,500. And then we agreed to $7,000. So $7,000 for flying your drone and actually enjoying what you're doing is a pretty cool thing and something to be really grateful for. And again, Greg with Pilot Institute and that whole 107 trip has definitely helped out and gave me the confidence to make money with it. And also, just yeah, I mean, I could legally take jobs on. And again, the confidence comes with that because you do learn that much more when you're flying. And that's a really cool thing. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. You can't really ask for anything more when you're actually sitting out there flying your drones and having fun and creating. I mean, I actually love it. So it's kind of a new re-spark for my photography. I've been taking pictures professionally for probably 20 years now. So as a photographer, I mean, everyone's kind of taking pictures now, and photography kind of got not boring, but it just lost its spark a teeny bit. And the drone kind of re-sparked my interest creativity wise, just with photos and with just taking things to a different perspective and level. So yeah, I'm stoked for drones. But yeah. What's going on, Alvaro? Buenas noches. Yeah, so stoked for that. But again, it's not the brag either. It's honestly just to inspire. I mean, people need to get out there and keep creating and flying and putting it out there. And eventually people see what you're doing and they see your passion for flying and they see what you're doing editing wise. And I mean, you kind of bust your butt to do it, but at the same time, it's fun. So get out there, practice your flying, practice your editing, and just create and do your own thing. And that's honestly what's going to sell you and get you more work coming in because they see that. People will notice that for sure. So right on. What time is it in Spain right now? Buenas noches, poquito español. Need mucho español. I kind of want to learn Spanish this year or this winter, become fluent. It's in the morning. Yeah, I'm sure. What do you guys fly out of curiosity? What kind of drones? Or what do you do with them? Or what do you love about them? Or what got you into them? I mean, for me, I was in Hawaii at the time and my friend had a Phantom 4 and he just basically said fly it when he was in the water swimming or doing what he was doing surfing, and I would go and fly his drone, and that kind of is what got me started. I was hooked after that. Air to Us. Yeah, it's a good drone. Do you love it? Alvaro, what's going on with you? No bueno. Get a drone. We got to get you one. That's all good. They're fun though. Do you take pictures or anything? So audio sounds all right, right? These are all kind of little test runs. So if audio sounds good, at least I know this Rode mic works and does the job. I just got to get the lighting down and backdrop and all that good stuff. But for now, I'm going to check out. It's kind of getting late. I'm going to shower and call it. Then tomorrow is a day of packing. Shh. Yeah, I hear that coast to coast. It's a big investment. I mean, that's a big chunk of change to, say you're going to spend 5 grand or 3 grand or whatever it may be. I mean, if you do it for a living, you can kind of justify it, I guess. But at the same time, I mean, I'm going to sell a couple drones. I think I'm going to probably sell my Mavic 2 Zoom, get 1500 out of that. I actually just sold my Crystal Sky for my Inspire because I never used it. And I got 900 out of that. So say that's like $2,500. If I just, even if it was $5,000 and I spent 2,500, that's kind of how I'm justifying it. I'm freeing up 2,500 and say I may have to spend 2,500. And that's kind of how I always balance it out personally. But I don't know. I mean, I'm got gas kind of thing and I like having the new gear, but it's always kind of been my thing, honestly, a bit is just having the latest technology because it's how you learn in a big way too. I worked as a digital tech for photographers. So a lot of times I would actually go and get hired because of my knowledge with cameras and medium format backs and computers and all that stuff. So keeping up with technology essentially and keeping up with the latest gear, it's not always just because you want the coolest, latest gear. It also shows you how that new technology is working and it kind of pushes you to another level. So say I'm kind of tweaking out or peaking out, I should say, not tweaking. I'm peaking out at something. I mean, I kind of just enjoy having new gear because it gives you another reason to go out and fly and just kind of, re-sparks a little bit, I guess. Yeah, it is a big jump. I mean, it's a big amount of money. $5,000 is it's a chunk of change for a drone, let alone a Mavic. I mean, as I said, I recently bought an Inspire 2, and that was a huge investment for me. And I'm kind of a little still sick that I bought that whole thing because it's kind of been a pain in the ass, honestly. It's a cool drone and I love it. I mean, I just want to love it more than I actually do because it becomes it's just a lot of drone. You got to carry a big trunk out. I had issues with my battery last time I went out to fly just for fun. So the reality is a lot of times it just becomes more work and then it just kills my creative zone, vibe. I go out to go and have fun and fly and get some cool footage. And then I have technical issues because of this big expensive drone. And it just kind of, I don't know, it just ruins it for me. That's just the way my mind works. It's hard to get past that because I've had such a hiccup with a big investment like this Inspire 2. And then when you go and fly like a Mini 2, sometimes I'll just take this drone out and I'll bring like 6, 7 batteries and that's it. I bring a couple cards, bunch of batteries, and I fly the Mini 2 and I just create as much as I can with the Mini 2 and have fun with it. I mean, the Mini 2 is in a league of its own, these little guys, and that's how the Nano Plus and the Nano is going to be. just because they're fun. I mean, the fun factor is amazing on these things. You don't have to do much. They're small, they're light, they bounce off stuff and don't break easily. So that's a cool thing. And again, when you're using like your iPhone, for example, as a photographer, you just free up all kinds of creativity because you have such a small little capable device. You don't have to have tripods and all kinds of stuff weighing you down, and it just becomes a pain in the butt. So even when I was in Hawaii and I was swimming the ocean with my cameras, I had big water housings and D3s and D4s and big, huge Nikon bodies and big camera housings. A lot of times I'd go out with this little phone, not the 13, but I'd go out with like a 6, 7 plus, 8 plus, and I'd just go in a little water housing for the iPhone, and I'd free up so much creativity and come up with such amazing stuff, and people would kind of trip out on it. And that's actually when I got a big ad campaign with Apple Computer. And I honestly just think that's how it is. The more you create and just do your own thing and kind of less is more, you end up creating better work because you're not so weighed down by your gear and your equipment. So anyway, but it's getting a little late. I'm going to go chill with the cat and wind down. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. I'm glad the audio sounds all right. Coast to Coast Drones. Thank you. Alvaro, buenas noches. Larry, have a good night and a beautiful weekend. And I will check in with you guys shortly and maybe go live one more time once I get into my new place before the Mavic 3 actually gets released. So stay tuned, subscribe, hit the notification bell, I guess, too, so you can know when I do stream live. And that's it. Peace, guys. Bye.